Hey, it's Chrissy Miles, and you're watching The Chrissy Miles Show, where I teach you how to take eternal truth and produce extreme results. In today's episode, I'm going to share with you how to get through a stressful season in life. Everybody goes through difficult seasons in life, but I want to teach you how to get to the bottom of what's causing the stress and reduce the amount of time it takes to get through it. I've worked with countless people over the years, helping them get more out of life. And if there's one thing that describes most people, it is stressed out. I get it. My husband and I run multiple businesses. We're really involved in giving back to our community, and we're super engaged with our family. And we've had our fair share of stressful seasons. So I want to show you 4 exercises that will help you navigate through a stressful season and help you come out on top. But first, subscribe to this channel and click the bell to get notified of more of my proven methods to get more out of life. Here's exercise 1. Make a list of everything that's contributing to your stress. You can't really begin to tackle the stress until you identify what's causing it. Stress usually comes from a variety of factors. They all bleed into each other. So if you do this exercise, write down as many things as you can think of that's causing you stress, and we're going to tie that into the next activity. Maybe you're in an unhealthy relationship, but you don't feel like you can get out of it because you can't support yourself. Or maybe your workload is so heavy that you not only work a full day at the office, but you end up bringing your work home too. Maybe your child is being bullied at school, and no matter what advice you've given him, nothing seems to be working. Whatever it is, make a list and write down everything you can think of that's contributing to this stressful season in your life. So what are some things that consistently cause you stress? Comment below in the areas that you find yourself most often stressing about. Here's exercise number 2. Ask yourself, what's at the core of this problem? You've made your list. Now it's time to ask yourself, what's really causing this problem? So in the example of the unhealthy relationship, you might determine that the real core of that problem is that you just need to get your finances in order so that you don't have to rely on somebody else to support you. Or maybe that same unhealthy relationship is problematic because you don't share any of the same core values as the other person, and you guys are not really going in the same direction. Another core issue in that same unhealthy relationship could be that you've been relying too long on someone else to tell you that you're valued and you're worth something. Whatever the stressor is, you have to reduce it to the core problem contributing to that stress. Stress is just an outward sign that something internally is not really working well, so you can't eliminate the stress unless you determine what's causing it. So here's exercise number 3. Sort these core issues into categories. So take the core issues that you've discovered in these different categories, and I want you to sort them according to relationship issues, money issues, health and wellness, tasks, and self. And then put those in either the box labeled Fix Now or Fix Later. So I'm going to provide you a link to a download of this matrix that I'm talking about in the description below. And I'm going to show you in a second how you would use this matrix to help sort through the issues that you're having. So what this matrix does is it helps you not only focus on what's at the source of your stress, but it also shows you in what category a lot of your stressors fall into. Do most of your stressors come from money? Do most of your stressors come from health, relationships, or are you all over the place? It kind of gives you a roadmap on what the most common things are that contribute to your stress. And second, you obviously can't fix everything now. So as you sort the core issues that you've uncovered, be honest with yourself about which things you really think you can fix now and which things you know you'll have to work on. But in reality, they're going to have to wait till later until you can stabilize your life.
Okay, what I want to do right now is I want to show you how to take some of the stressful issues that you've been having and the list that you've made and begin to outline and lay out for yourself where these issues are kind of coming from. So take the list of things that cause you some stress in a day, and then I want you to determine how do these things fit in the following categories. So you have issues related to relationships, money, health, self, and what I'm just calling tasks that need to be done. So here's an example. maybe someone's life, they can't keep up with the house or the chores in the house. So what you need to do is you have to ask yourself, for me, what does this issue most likely relate to? So for some people, it could be their health. And in some cases, people have maybe suffered from some chronic health issues. And one of the things that they can't keep up with is the house because they don't feel well. And so one of the ways that they could fix this issue immediately is they could ask for help. So that would be an area where you could take a stressful issue that keeps coming up, ask yourself, where is the source of that problem? Ask yourself what you can do to fix this issue now and come up with a strategy to help get you started. So in another case, you could potentially take this particular issue and say, you know what, this is a relationship issue for me. So maybe you have a tendency in your house to take on more responsibility than you should, or you should be giving your kids or your husband some responsibility, and you don't do that for whatever reason. So for you, it could be a relationship issue. And so maybe one of the ways that you could fix that is you could put a list of chores on the refrigerator and kind of go over that with your family. Now, this might seem a little simplistic, but the idea is that you probably have more than 5 issues that sort of sprung up throughout the day that caused you some stress. And your goal is to try to see if there's some way that you can take action on a few things right away. Okay, here's another example. Team needs more professional development. So maybe for you, this is kind of a task-oriented thing, but as you think about it a little bit more, you might realize this is something that's going to take me a little bit of time to research. So you would say research, professional development activity for your staff. So you put that in a task-oriented thing. It's not going to require a lot of emotional capacity to think about it, but you do need time to think about it, which is why it falls in the fix later category. Another example, feeling groggy in the afternoon. So this probably falls underneath a health thing. And so maybe you're a morning exerciser, and instead of exercising in the morning every day, you decide that you're going to work out over your lunch period. So this might help take care of some of the issues that you've been having with feeling tired in the afternoon. Schedule a couple of days out of your week instead of working out in the morning before you go to work out at lunch. Another example, husband's 40th birthday. So maybe what you want to do is do a special birthday surprise or a special birthday gift. And maybe in this example, you want to pool everybody's money together. So we're going to pool money together to get a great 40th birthday gift from the family. This is a fix now because really all it takes is a simple text to the family members to say, hey, instead of everybody doing an individual gift, we're going to do a gift all together. So let me know what you can contribute, and we're going to get this. In this category, you could say fix later might be setting money aside for a trip. And this is fixed later because it takes a little bit of time to put that together. And it falls obviously in the money category because you're going to need money to take the trip. Another example, haven't taken a day off in forever. That could be a self-care thing. You might be able to fix this now because maybe you have some flex days. So you're going to check to see how many flex days that you have, and you're just going to say, you know what, I haven't taken any time off. I'm going to take a flex day for myself. Another way that you could think about this time off is maybe you have too much stress in your job, and you kind of have been thinking maybe about changing careers or doing something a little bit different because you haven't taken a day off, you're working too hard, too much stress. So this obviously comes in a fix later category because it's going to take you some time to research that. Okay, so the purpose of this matrix in short is to help you to begin to see a pattern in the types of issues or the category of issues that you seem to find yourself stressing out over. So if you do this activity once a week, let's say for a couple of months, maybe after 4, 5, 6 weeks, you can kind of look back and ask yourself, of the things that are causing me stress a lot during the day, in what category do they generally fall under? And then from that point, you can begin digging in a little bit deeper to sort of ask some questions about how you can improve this particular area of your life, and you can focus some attention on it. The other thing that this does too is it gives you an immediate action plan for things, again, that come up. Remember, when we're having a stressful day, we don't really know why it's happening. we just have these things that kind of bombard us. And it's almost like this thought comes to our head, it bombards us. We either close it down and say, I can't think about that right now, it's too stressful, or it sort of keeps looming in our mind and we can't take our mind off of it. And so literally professionals would say that if you don't write something down, it stays in the active part of your thinking. So it's very, very important that you take these things off of the forefront of your mind. When you write them down, it's almost as if it eases the pressure on your mental capacity, on your brain, to not hold on to this in its short-term memory bank, because you know you've written it down and you can come back to it later. So it gives you an immediate action plan of things that you can fix now, and it starts developing a list of things that you know you need to come back to and spend a little bit more time on, which is what we're going to talk about in our next tip. So in our next tip, let's go to that right now, and we're going to look at how you can address some of the items in prioritizing what to work on.
Here's exercise 4. Prioritize 1 to 2 things from the Fix Now category that you can take action on in the next 24 hours. So if you've made it this far, consider yourself to be one of the very few people in the world who will actually see change happen in their lives. This is where most people get stuck because they get so overwhelmed with the problems that they need to solve. But for you, instead of getting overwhelmed, identify 1 to 2 actions that you can take in the next 24 hours to move your life in the right direction. Information plus emotion must lead to action if you're ever going to overcome these things that keep bringing you back to seasons of stress in your life. You don't have to tackle everything on the list, but you do have to do something to start that momentum towards change. Sometimes when we go through exercises like this, it begins to uncover some unpleasant things that we've experienced in the past that maybe we thought we were over, but now they seem to be negatively affecting our life. So included in the description box is a link that I'm going to give you to a podcast called Overcoming the Issues of Your Past. I want to give you some proven strategies for overcoming issues and never letting your past dictate your future again. Here's exercise number 5. I want you to schedule a time to think through the elements from the matrix that you know that you have to fix later. We call this putting things on the shelf. So there are truly some core issues that are going to take more time to sort through. Putting them on the shelf doesn't mean that they're not there. It just means that you have to temporarily get them out of the way so that you can keep living and making it through life. Most people want to bury these things, but by putting them on the shelf, you walk past them, you still notice that they're there, you know you have to do something about them at some time, but you really don't have to debilitate your life with all of these things and allow these things to prevent you from enjoying your life. So schedule a time to talk about these things, review these things in a neutral place or a non-confrontational setting, and this is going to help you reduce the emotions surrounding the issues, and that will allow you to think more clearly and come up with better strategies to work on these areas later. If you haven't checked out my video on how to recover from a bad day, click the link in the description. Oftentimes people unnecessarily get into a season of stress because they haven't been recovering from a series of small issues that have been affecting them every day. I hope you enjoyed these tips on how to get through a stressful season in life. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. If you know somebody who's been going through a stressful season in life, share this video with them and even walk through the exercises with them. It may help them, and it will definitely help better equip you to get through stressful seasons in your life. If you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to this channel for new episodes each Tuesday where I teach you how to get more out of life.
Ladies, are you ready to advance both personally and professionally? If so, join keynote speakers Chrissy Miles and Gigi Butler for the Advanced Women's Business Summit, October 25th, 2019. For more information, sponsorship opportunities, and to reserve your ticket, visit www.advancedsouthbend.com.